A Papua New Guinea advocacy group, Act Now, and Jubilee Australia says forest clearance authorities granted in PNG are being abused. The FCAs allow limited clearance of forest for agricultural or other land use, but the environmental groups say foreign logging companies are using them as backdoor access to PNG's pristine tropical rainforest. Act Now editor Nago told Don Wiseman about what they found in a case study into the Wami Rural Development Project, which is the result of an FCA held by Malaysian logging company Global Elite Limited.
The Forest Clearing Authority, or we call it as in initials by way of FCA, is one of the licenses that are used for agriculture. But what we have realized is that these FCAs have been unlawfully used to facilitate large-scale logging operations by foreign-owned logging companies. And this is being found out in a collaborative research done by Jubilee Australia and ECNOW. In this particular case study, we've looked at this particular project called the Wami Logging Operation, or Wami FCA, where this Malaysian company has used an FCA which is intended to allow for land clearing for agriculture or any other land use. Instead, it used it as a front, and we've seen hundreds of thousands of cubic meters of round logs being exported. Now, this particular operation has been going on for almost 10 years, and this company has sold out more than 31 million US dollars worth of round logs.
And they got hold of this land by making a commitment to establish an agricultural project.
Yes, because an FCA is intended for that. You either do a particular clearing or small clearing for agriculture or other land use. And instead, in the last 10 years, they've harvested more than 31 million US dollars worth of logs, round logs, which were exported. And no promised palm oil or rubber plantation has ever been planted on the land.
Is there any sign that is going to happen at some point?
Well, we've gone past it because there's supposed to be a plan that says that, okay, we clear a certain area of land. We clear it, we plant the promised palm oil or rubber plantation. And then once that's done, the plants have reached up to a certain stage and then they move to the next. As it is now, it's past 10 years and it's just only logging that's happening. Not only that, but we have a satellite imagery that shows that there's been extensive clearing without any planting of any agricultural crops.
Did they knock everything down, or are they just taking selected trees?
Yes. It's just clearing. It's just clearing at the moment that's happening. It's worse than what it's supposed to be.
This land, it's in a destructive state.
It is. It is at the moment. Also, this particular FCA as well was subject to the SABL Commission of Inquiry in 2013. And it was evident in the findings of the commission that, people's free, prior, and informed consent was never given. Also, there was this compelling evidence of non-compliance with the processes that are required under the laws for the granting of an SABL or an FCA.
So they're on the land illegally anyway.
It is. That's what it seems, given the nature of its operations and the findings that we've gathered so far.
This is just one of a number like this across the country. How many do you think of these rorts are going on right now?
Currently, apart from the Wami project, in total, there are about 24 active ones that are currently under this particular license or particular forest clearing authority. And huge numbers have been exported out at the moment. When we put all those together, this actively exporting FCAs cover an average area of about 61,800 hectares of forest. And that's equivalent to about 11,000 football fields. Yeah. So that's really, really massive. That's really, really massive.
So what should happen, Eddie?
We are calling on the Forest Board and the PNG Forest Authority to extend the current moratorium on the new FCAs. There was one that was announced in the beginning of this year that says that they were not going to issue any new FCAs. Okay, we want that to extend. We want logging in all these existing FCAs to be also suspended, and there should be a comprehensive public review of these projects. Now, we also have the current government's commitment to ending round log exports. And just recently this year, the Marape government has launched the Medium-Term Development 4. And it also caters for the promises to end round log export by 2025. Now, as per our analysis into this particular MTDP plan, or Medium-Term Development Plan 4, and then looking at the current export rate that's happening, the log export volumes now are currently very high. And the PNG Forest Authority is really failing to meet the reduction targets as set down in the medium-term plan. This is in breach of the targets that are set out by the government, plus also the promises that we've seen, like the recent one being made by Prime Minister Marape when the French president was around, is that Papua New Guinea should be looking at preserving the rainforest and reducing deforestation. It's not happening the way how it's been preached at the moment. So there should be really a serious look at into practically trying to reduce the export volumes, which the MTDP4 is looking at, but in practice, it's not happening the way it's supposed to be.
Attempts by RNZ Pacific to get any response from Global Elite Limited have been unsuccessful.